Laura?
Zdar! Já vás vítám u 5. kapitoly, což znamená, že už jsme teda mírně za půlkou, protože hra má jenom 8 kapitol, jenom v úzovkách. No a opět hrajeme za pana doktora Stylese. Uvidíme, co dneska budeme dělat a jak jste viděli v cutscénce, tak jsme pravděpodobně viděli Lauru ve sprše, takže to jdem omrknout do koupelny.
There's nothing in there now. Was Laura really here this morning?
Tak a to by stačilo a může mít pryč. Myslím, že tu nepotřebujeme nic prozkoumávat v pokoji zbytečně. Jenom ještě tady se podíváme, co tu máme vlastně. Den ve vesnici, takže vidíte, že se budeme procházet i konečně mimo naše sídlo. Něco o experimentu. No. Jdem na to. Tohle jsou dveře? Tohle jsou dveře. No. Tak a jdem asi teda směr kuchyně za paní v přechodu. Jak se jmenuje? Daltonová? Uvidíme. Jestli je něco, na co nemám paměť, tak jsou to jména. Mám dobrou paměť na čísla, ale to je mi k ničemu, takže...
Good morning. How was your breakfast?
Fine.
Tak.
Is Samantha in?
She's at university. Would you like me to call her?
Actually, I prefer not to be disturbed. If she comes in, tell her that, will you?
Of course.
Můžu s ní kecat, prosím? Nemůžu? Dobře, takže jdem teda v tom případě dolů. Do naší pracovny. No, jdem do soukromé třeba. No, pohni kostrou trošičku. No. Tak, jsme tady, co tu máme, něco nového?
I can't go in there now.
Dobře, podíváme se tady na tabuli, co je nového. Dnešní úkoly, schůzka s nějakým doktorem. Opakovat si paměťové cvičení, dobře no. Zase nějaké zase vzpomínky si vyvolat na Lauru, no. Tady posedlí. Tady máme nějaké nové písmenka, jdem se na to podívat.
What is it, Laura? Keep going, darling. Give me a
A
few
nebo
more letters.
to už bylo asi minulý díl, že já už si to tak si nepamatuju, se omlouvám. Můžu do diáře teďka?
It's old.
It's old. Dobře. Tak jdem do té velké pracovny a pak se půjdeme podívat teda po městě, protože konečně můžeme. Tady dozadu. Podíváme se do počítače, jestli to jde. Máme tu dvě sezení. Tady myslím, že se šlo na 11:30. A tady je něco zvláštního.
I've never seen anything like that. I wonder if it could have been a power surge. Promising, but it doesn't leave me much data to work with. I'll switch to my older MRI equipment tonight. It should be less sensitive to power spikes. What? What is that? I've never seen anything like that.
No zajímavé. Takže
Whatever it is that happened, it happened the same way both nights.
domluv.
That rules out a glitch in the program.
Takže od téhle noci, nebo prostě s dalším experimentem už budeme měřit na něčem jiném, takže třeba budou jiné výsledky. Můžeme se podívat do města? Můžeme. Tak jdeme navštívit teda toho pana doktora. Myslím, že to je náš psychiatr, nebo ne, je to náš kamarád, ale myslím, že nám nabízel, že by nás léčil po té nehodě.
Sorry to disturb you.
It's an honor. I remember when your Scientific American article came out. My colleagues and I were thrilled to see such open-mindedness in a leading neurobiologist.
As you can see, things have deteriorated since then.
Please, come inside. On the phone it sounded important.
On má takový pěkný indický přízvuk. To se mi líbí třeba, jo? No.
One thing you learn as a neurobiologist is that reality is subjective, like the story of the blind man and the elephant. One of my patients had a brain tumor and became convinced his wife was an alien in disguise. Everyone else saw an everyday housewife. He saw something horrible. What clues do we pick up from our environment every day that tell us how to perceive the world? One man sees a pile of logs, another a sleeping giant.
Perception is a slippery thing.
My wife, Laura, died in 2002, but the reality I chose was to keep her alive. In my mind and in my heart. I started experiments in an isolation tank to bring back as many memories of her as possible. Even the small and subtle ones. And I didn't give a toss what anyone thought.
And now?
The thing I didn't foresee was that Laura might actually come back.
I've suddenly got quite a chill. Perhaps you'll start from the beginning while I light the fire.
No fire, please.
Oh, please forgive me.
No to
I'll
nedošlo.
call for some tea. I'm quite anxious to hear what you have to say, Dr. Stiles. If you'd start at the beginning, please. It sounds fascinating. I've never performed any experiments with an isolation tank myself, but they may well concentrate certain energies. I'd be happy to help in any way I can. And I'd be very interested in your theories on the phenomenon, as a neurobiologist, if you'd be so kind.
Dáme
Is there
oheň?
any connection between psi activity and heat or fire?
Yes. Telekinesis in particular is very elemental. There's a classic poltergeist case that involved a young girl in the American heartland. The manifestations in her household all revolved around water. Water running down the walls of the house, seeping out of the wallpaper and welling up from the floors. Another classic telekinesis phenomenon is raining stones. And I recall reading about a shaman in East Africa who could make his victims burst into flames. It would all suggest that telekinetic powers are drawn from the earth. But I'm not aware of any studies done on the subject.
No, dobře,
Can you
tak dáme
tell me more
šamana.
about the East African shaman?
I'll tell you what I remember. It's a well-documented case from the early 1900s, researched by a member of the Society for Psychical Research. He was traveling in Africa when he ran across this shaman. He put the man through a variety of tests and reached the conclusion that the shaman was projecting electricity at strong enough levels to literally start fires, predictably and reliably. This notion seemed confirmed by the odd fact that when the shaman was wet, his fire-starting ability didn't work. Of course, in those days, experiments in electricity were all the rage, so you have to take that into consideration. Still, he made a compelling case.
Have you heard of any similar hauntings, for lack of a better word?
Some of the elements, such as the way Laura communicated with you in the tank and the RNG message. These sound like classic communiques from the spirit world. But other things you've described, the moved nightgown, the form under the sheets, and most particularly the events at the university, those sound like PK activity, telekinesis, objects being moved with the power of the mind. Are you positive all these manifestations are Laura?
Of course. One paranormal source is remarkable enough, much less two different ones. Don't you agree?
You have a point.
In cases that you're familiar with of hauntings, is it typical for the deceased to obsess over their deaths?
I'd say so, particularly if it was violent.
Laura keeps communicating about the accident, but I'm not sure if there's really something there or if she's just fixated on that moment out of shock.
I know you'll leave no stone unturned finding out. If there's nothing to it, it will be clear soon enough.
Yes, of course. I'm wondering if the events on campus aren't some kind of psychic residue from Laura's attempts to come through. If she's generating energy, it might get channeled in unpredictable ways.
I can't say, of course. But the energy involved in the campus events is so unusually powerful. It's unlike any spiritual communication I've ever heard of.
But you said yourself you've never dealt with a case that involved an isolation tank.
True. True. I'm quite curious to see where this is all heading, Dr. Styles.
Jo, to mě taky.
Studies done with dying and comatose patients have provided some interesting clues about consciousness. There are authenticated cases of the mind projecting itself from the body, witnessing things that occurred far away. If the mind can project itself from the body, then it's possible for consciousness to survive physical death.
Do you have a scientific explanation for how that might work?
Quantum theory suggests that three-dimensional space and time are essentially created by the brain in order to organize the masses of data that make up reality. The brain operates like a translation device, in the same way that a television set organizes bits of electronic data into an image. If the human brain creates space and time, then theoretically the brain could project the mind into the past or future, making itself essentially immortal.
That's astonishing. I hope you intend to publish on this theory.
I'm still conducting my research.
No, to už jdem pryč, tak jo. Tak jsme se dozvěděli něco o telekinézi.
Expertise, Doctor. There's one more thing. I was hoping you could give me some advice on how I might help Laura. Help her come through.
Dr. Styles, I'm not sure what you mean by coming through. Earthbound spirits are trapped here because of some unresolved trauma or an inability to accept their own deaths. The goal in such a scenario is to free the spirit so that he or she can move on.
Move on? To what? Oblivion? I mean, what if Laura could be brought back?
But what body would she inhabit? How could she interact with our world? All religions believe that there is some kind of afterlife and...
Yes, thank you, Doctor. I'm afraid it's getting quite late. I must go.
I do hope you'll keep in touch. I'd like to know how this develops.
Of course. Good day.
Goodbye.
A taky o posmrtném životě, neživotě v uvozovkách. No. A jsme tady a zatím nikam jinam jít nemůžeme, takže jdeme prohledat něco, co by nám mohlo navodit nějakou vzpomínku. Nějaký obraz, nebo sochu, nebo cokoliv. Můžeme si pokecat s paní v přechodu?
David, can I get you something?
No,
Ne.
I'm fine.
Nemůžu. Jo, můžu. Tak si jdem pokecat.
You were with Laura and me since our marriage. What would you say were some of Laura's favorite places?
Oh, she loved that chair up in your bedroom. She'd have to have tea curled up there with a book. Oh, and the back garden.
I mean further out, not the house.
Your cottage at the lake. Oh, and that park. Timmins. The one that she did all the watercolours off. Oh, Lord, she loved that place.
Timmins, of course. Thank you.
Můžu ještě něco? Nevypadá. Takže půjdeme do toho parku se podívat. A opět musíme všechno ochmatat, protože adventura. A snad nám to navodí nějaké vzpomínky. No ta je výborná. Ach ty děti. Výborně. Tak jdem dovnitř. Počkej. Podíváme se tady na plaketu.
There's nothing on the park schedule for today. Good, that means fewer people.
Jo. Nějaký dlouhý loading, no dobře. Tak jdem čumět na stromy.
This is the tree. I carved our initials here on a summer day. I remember the park, but it's quite vague. Where should I go? The main track is down there. I remember the park, but it's this way
dobře.
leads.
Tak se jdem podívat tady na strom ještě.
Just a carving in the tree. Doesn't remind me of anything. I don't think that sitting on this bench could trigger any particular memory. I should try something else. This carving means nothing to me. It won't help me with Laura.
Dobře. Takže můžeme jít asi dál někam. Já nevím, já bych šla ještě běž doprava, prosím. Jdem třeba k fontáně.
Laura loved that fountain. We sat on that bench for hours. Laura was the only person who could ever convince me to relax.
Dobře. Jdem asi, no tak jdem tady na chodník.
We loved to sit on that bench and listen to the river flow. Now Laura's gone. And the river too. The river has dried up with time. I didn't remember these woods as being so dense.
Tak a máme tu kytky a myslím, že budeme potřebovat nějakou. Teď se podívám tady na ukazatel. Ale tady chlápek na nás bude čumět, takže to nepůjde. Gardénie.
There's a gardenia in bloom. Laura would place one in her hair if we came here.
That flower might jog some memories.
Tak ji ber.
Don't you pick that flower, sir.
What? And how would that change your day?
Rules is rules, sir. Flowers are here for everyone's enjoyment, not picking.
Listen, I need that flower. I'll pay for it if necessary.
You'll pay, all right. The fine's £2,000.
Hello? Hey, don't take that.
She's run off with the gardenia I need.
Jo, to jsi dobře všimnul. Půjdeme za ně, ještě si prohlídneme keř a s ním kecat nejde asi, co? Ne.
Laura would place one in her.
Tak jdem teda směr hřiště. Za tou holčičkou neposednou a musíme jí ukrást kytičku.